So, after an extended break from this format, after several things happened in my life that I do not need to get into in a YouTube video, let's continue with our coverage of the X antibody forms or the X forms of Digimon. As a reminder, we are going through these in an alphabetical order, so the next one up for me is Belphemon. Belphemon as an X antibody is kinda hard to judge. So, as you know, probably Belphemon is one of the 7 deadly Digimon, which represents the 7 deadly sins, similar to Belphemon. Belphemon, in this regard, is representing the sin of sloth, which is represented in Digimon via this Digimon having 2 forms. A rather unassuming, harmless-looking asleep form, and then a rather vicious and dangerous awake form. Now, we could get into how this is a rather unimaginative interpretation of sloth as some sort of enemy or creature. However, that's not the purpose of this video. Rather, we are going to focus on the X form of Belphemon, which really just changes one of the forms as much as I am aware, which is the awake rage form. There isn't really much to it. Belphemon as an X antibody is just beefier and has more ornamentation. The most visually striking aspect of it is the embedded sphere in its stomach, which is then framed as if the stomach itself is some kind of maw, which, while visually very interesting, conceptually seems kind of confused. Because, as you know, Belphemon is not the sin of gluttony, it's the sin of sloth. So, there seem to be a few wires that were crossed, in my opinion, because it doesn't really make sense that they would be putting emphasis on his stomach. Nonetheless, it is a rather decent design, nothing spectacular, so I would say it would deserve like a B-, I guess.